Jeremiah Constant. Wow.
Very humble champion.
He is indeed.
I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with that individual.
You can speak to that, and it's athletes in any sport regardless. You always hate to see a competitor go down to an injury, and especially in a wrestling meet where it's one-on-one individual, you kind of feel an affinity for your competitor after the competition's over, or at least a kinship. Well, here we go, the 285, the heavyweight match, the final one of the night. Ryan Riesel and Shane Carwin. Carwin in the red and gray. Let me tell you, Shane Carwin is a physical specimen. Not to say Ryan Riesel is small change, but Carwin, folks, you may see him playing on Sundays on the football field. Two-time member of the All-American Farm football team, and he's expected in many areas to become an NFL player in for next season in the NFL.
Now, Ryan Riesel, two-time defending champion, won it in 98 last year and 97 before. He's a four-time All-American. One of those national championship victories came against Shane Carwin. That was back in 97, the last two times these two wrestled. And Riesel coming out on top there actually pinned Carwin in 1 minute and 1 second. So Carwin has already lasted longer than the last time he wrestled against Riesel. But Riesel, a two-time runner-up. I'm sure he'd like to improve on his last two appearances in the national finals.
Well, Shane Carwin comes in, as you mentioned, the two-time runner-up, but he's known as a pinner as well. He holds the Western State record for quick pins. He had 24 of them back in 1996-97. And we head back to the center of the mat with 1:45 to go in the first period.
And if you're going to look at conditioning in this match, you got to give the edge to Shane Carwin just on the fact that he hasn't wrestled very much this weekend. He won by technical fall in his first match, 16-0. He pinned his second opponent in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. He pinned in the semis in 1 minute and 40. Now Ryan Riesel, on the other hand, earlier today had to go double overtime in the semifinals against Jerry Corner, the #1 seed from UNO, and that was to avenge a loss last week in the conference tournament, the North Central Conference tournament. So Ryan Riesel did it at the right time at the national tournament.
Ryan Riesel, as mentioned, lost 5-4 to Corner at NCC's, and then won earlier today in sudden death 2-1. Entered as the 5th seed and ranked 5th in the nation, which is a surprise when you find a two-time defending national champ ranked 5th.
You're the two-time defending champ, and you only get the 5th seed. You got to think something's wrong here, but he's only wrestled 15 matches this season, partially due to injury earlier in the year. So that was part of the reason, and the other reason, the heavyweight class this year was pretty well balanced. Like we said, Jerry Corner has beaten Riesel a couple times this year, and so that's what probably knocked Riesel down in the seedings coming into this tournament.
Well, Shane Carwin didn't even wrestle last year. He took last year off, as I mentioned, to pursue that career in the NFL, and now is back to wrestle again, as RJ mentioned, second to Ryan Riesel in 97. He lost in the finals, was a runner-up one other time here at Nationals.
We're taking a look there at the All-Americans waiting to get their plaques from 197 pounds.
And a host of champions throughout this meet. What a tournament it has been for UNO, for these athletes, for the fans. 3,800 plus, I would say. Although officially 3,800 at the field house tonight, because that's capacity.
We don't want to send anybody home early.
That's right. The mayor of Omaha, Hal Daub, was here earlier, and lots of dignitaries made their way up, because it is just not very often that you get to host a national championship in the state of Nebraska. Now, there's a lot of talk about national champions, a lot of national championship sports throughout Nebraska at the various levels, but not very often do you host one of those. And there we are. RJ, Kevin Kugler, McGraw on the
they'd
sidelines.
warn us before they put us
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we could have gone into the bathroom and slicked up our hair or something a little bit. But it's not often you get to host a national championship, to conclude my rambling point. UNO is one of the few schools that gets the chance to do that. They've done a terrific job.
A lot of former UNO wrestlers came into town this weekend from all over the country to take part in this national championship and see the host team UNO make their run for a national title. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short. Like we said, University of Pittsburgh Johnstown wins the team title, 110 points to UNO's 105.5. That just shows you the parity of those two teams, how close it is. But basically, one match made the difference for the team title.
Well, folks, if you want to get a copy of this for yourselves, you have an easy way to do it. Just call toll-free, regardless of where you are in this great nation, at 1-800-227-5281. It's a toll-free number, and you, too, can own a tape copy of tonight's NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships. Just $30 plus tax, shipping, and handling. To own a piece of history, that's a very small price. NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships video cassette tape at 1-800-227-5281. Own a piece of history for your own.
I guess we should point out the reason we're not seeing any action right now is the fact that we have an equipment timeout on the part of Ryan Riesel. I believe his headgear has broken, so they're readjusting that. We're 1 minute and 15 seconds into this third period. 1:45 to go, but it's all tied up 0-0 at heavyweight. I should say 285. It's used to be called heavyweight when it was unlimited. Now they have a cap on it. 285 pounds is all they can weigh. It's really I was talking to a fellow earlier in the tournament today, and he says it's really changed the look of the heavyweight class and the style of wrestling. You know, there used to be guys out here that weighed 300, 400, even 500 pounds. Wrestling, and it was a completely different style of wrestling. Now you get athletes that look like Ryan Riesel and Shane Carwin that get out there and move a little bit.
Well, you see a lot more chiseled specimen, and you see two of them there. There's a good look at Sean Angie of Minnesota State. We heard Jeremiah Constant explain what happened. It sounded like an apt description. His knee crunched like a bag of marbles. And just imagine that sound, folks, and you know what Jeremiah Constant heard.
And you might know what Sean Angie feels like.
Boy, I don't know if you do that.
The bad part is the pain in his knee is nothing compared to the pain of losing the national title.
You're exactly right. You can see that pain written all over his face.
Well, we're finally getting back to action here at the 285-pound class. We got the equipment fixed. Now we're going to see some wrestling.
Basically like starting over for these two competitors at this point. They're just starting 1:15 in. And no score. Carwin from Western State in the red, Riesel from South Dakota State in the blue. In our final match of the night, our final championship of the evening, Western State and South Dakota State. Your team champion, Pitt Johnstown. They sneak out a win over UNO by 4.5 points tonight, 110 to 105.5. The battle for third, though, Central Oklahoma by 2 points right now over Southern Colorado, and that's where that's going to end up. And so Central Oklahoma gets the win, and it comes because they get the injury default in the last match. They get the extra 2 points for that.
Well, you know this was a match a lot of the fans were looking forward to, because many times at tournaments, when it gets down to heavyweight, you see a lot of the people filing out to leave, but they knew this was a good one between Ryan Riesel, the two-time defending champ, and Shane Carwin, the two-time runner-up.
Well, and if you're at the Division II Wrestling National Championships, you don't want to leave before it's over. And heavyweight is always a big draw in, well, heck, in just about anything. Wrestling, boxing, big heavyweight boxing fight
Swimming,
tonight.
diving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the diving heavyweights.
Divers.
They're big. They're big. Heavyweight basketball, yeah, that's always a draw, too. 30 seconds to play in the first period. My partner, R.J. Nebe, he's appearing weekly with his own brand of comedy. No score here in the first period of the 285-pound weight class. Ryan Riesel lost the NCC championships this year, but is a two-time defending national champion. And Shane Carwin, a two-time All-American runner-up twice at nationals. One time to Riesel.
And actually, Riesel, we talked about the size of heavyweights, not one of the biggest heavyweights in the country by any means.
Second period about to begin. No score between Carwin and Riesel.
Choice goes to Riesel. He's going to take the down position. Now again, Riesel went at double overtime earlier today in the semifinals, winning 2-1. And we're 0-0 right now as we start the second period in this match.
And Riesel trying to get the escape. Carwin trying to get the takedown.
A lot of good quick movement by both heavyweights there. Carwin outworking the bar arm series. Now looking for a tilt. And he's going to get a 2-point near fall.
They're still counting for back points.
He might end up with a 3-point.
And I think he does.
He's got the 3-point near fall.
And a 3-point near fall for Shane Carwin, and he leads 3-0. Huge move there. And look out again, he may get it again. Just a 1 count this time, so no points awarded.
Now, in order to get points again, he's got to come up, completely let go of that hold, and then allow the wrestler to come back up, and then he can go back to the same move. If he hangs on to the same hold, they're not going to give him points again. But he let it go, switched off, and went back to it again. Didn't get the 2 count there, so no points. He still leads 3-0.
1 minute to go, second period. 3-0. Carwin with the lead here in the 285-pound class, the champion, the final champion of the day. And riding time now a factor. There's a stall warning against Ryan Riesel.
You saw Shane Carwin kind of bought that call right there. He basically picked his hands up like, what's the guy on bottom doing? And sure enough, referee Roy Phyllis calls him for stalling.
30 seconds remaining in the second period. You see the time left in second period. It's 3-0, Carwin with the lead.
There's a roll attempt by Riesel. Doesn't get the reversal, but does get a 1-point escape. He trails 3-1 after that 3-point near fall. And riding time has built up to 1:42 for Shane Carwin. As the second, you see the clock ticking away, the final seconds of the second period. We're going to go to the third period with Carwin leading 3-1, and it's his choice. He doesn't waste any time. He takes a down position. There's a look at Coach Jason Lyles from South Dakota State.
Hoping that Ryan Riesel can become a 3-time national champ and close out his career at SDSU with a win. Carwin trying to get the escape. Riesel trying to hang on. Melt a little of that riding time off, and Carwin gets away. And as he jogs out of trouble, he picks up a point for the escape.
You see a look at that foot speed that made him a 2-time All-American in football as well as wrestling.
Third period, the final period of the night. 1:35 to go, and look at this. Carwin nearly with a takedown, nothing yet, and it's out of bounds. Good job by Riesel to get away.
Carwin leading 4-1, but he's not sitting back on his lead either. He's going after it. Going for the throw on the edge. Riesel able to scramble out.
What's the strategy, RJ, when you've got a lead in the third period of the national championship? That seems kind of a risky maneuver.
A little bit. I mean, you want to stay on the attack and stay offensive, but at the same time, you really don't want to make a big mistake that's going to cost you 4 or 5 points and could possibly cost you the match. I mean, he was in good position. I mean, it was somewhat risky move, but he had position on Riesel, so you want to stick with more high percentage moves, something that's not going to get you in any trouble.
52 seconds left in the third period. It's 4-1. Carwin with the 3-point lead over Riesel, and we go out of bounds back to neutral with 48 seconds left, third period. Good look at Shane Carwin, the senior from Western State, the Mountaineers of Western State. 43 seconds and counting, third period. Carwin enjoying the 3-point lead, 4-1. And he's got the riding time, so that'd be another point to the total. Carwin and Riesel battling right in the center of the mat. Four to 1 for Carwin. He'll get another point for a bonus, and Riesel not able to do a whole lot here in the winding down seconds of this third period. Now he shoots in and out of bounds.
So it looks like with 14 seconds to go, the title that has eluded Shane Carwin for two previous attempts in the finals might be finally his.
And may go on a bio someday in the NFL if Shane Carwin has his way. 9 seconds, third period. Carwin 4, Riesel 1. And a stall warning issued against Carwin, but that's not going to matter. Time is expired. Carwin is your national champion. 5-1 in the decision over the 2-time defending champ Ryan Riesel. And Shane Carwin celebrates his national title and grabs the final crown of the night here at the NCAA Division II Wrestling National Championships. And there's Carwin, a very happy senior. And you see the strength. He picks up both coaches and throws them down.
And that win helped move his team, Western State College, into the top 10 of the Division II National Finals.
So not a bad finish there as well. Well, the winners are on the podium for the 197-pound weight class. And let's go to our PA announcer for those announcements.
American Dale Doherty.
Kevin, thank you very much.
2 times you've been here before, 2 times you lost. Now you finally broke through. How does it feel?
The redemption, it feels great to finally get the win.
How important was it for you to conserve energy throughout the day with those easier matches?
I wasn't what I was concerned about. I was concerned to get the win through each round.
When did you know you had it?
When I turned him and got the 3.
Congratulations, Shane. Kevin, back to you.
And ladies and gentlemen, the king of the mountain, the biggest heavyweight of them all, because he's the champion from Western State, Shane Carwin.
And there they are, your champions at the 285-pound weight class, your final champions of the night. There's still some awards to hand out. We've got your team awards and, of course, the Coach of the Year and all that fun stuff yet ahead, and we'll try to get those on for you as well tonight. Your Team of the Year. Plus, we're going to try to catch Pat Pecora, the champion coach from Pitt Johnstown. McGraw will try to wrap him up and pin him for a little bit of an interview here before we close out this 1999 NCAA division.